Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sandra's Stenography and that Shorthand Dictation and Voice Writing and Plover Writers and anybody else who wants to learn this beautiful, wonderful craft of ours. So, check this out. I just wanted to take some time. This is not going to be a long video at all. I'm not dictating anything. I am just speaking to you. So, let me get it on. Let's get it on and pop it and crack it. So I wanted to read a short little expose for you, a little writing for you to make sure that you become the most successful stenographer, court reporter, shorthand writer that you can possibly ever be. So I thought it'd be nice if I brought you some advice on how I got the 225 words per minute. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. So, if I can impart some advice to you, especially here on my channel where I do love each and every one of you and all of your endeavors, I think this is the greatest platform ever to be able to do that. I could also have done it on, of course, I have my court reporting channel on Facebook. Yep. Sorry about that. It's pretty early in the morning. I like to do these videos and just sit them out to the world so you have all day to practice. So, but it's 8:17 and maybe people got things to do just like I got things to do. Sorry about that. But of course, you can find me on Facebook at Court Reporters Plus. I'm also building a Wix website I'm going to publish soon. Just wanted to get some videos on there. And what I have eventually, I know this is side tracking, but what I have decided to do is I am going to start that website right now with some of the videos I have on my channel, but those will eventually be replaced because I would like to do something over there. Got it? Good. Now back to what we were saying. What I was saying is, I'm going to read this to you at no particular speed, of course. And what I am speaking of today is reading back your notes. I don't want you to think that this is a channel where you can come over here, you can move a little, get your practice in, and then scoop, 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 you're gone. And you haven't read your notes. I thought it was highly imperative that I come here and tell you, don't just come on this channel and leave that seat without pulling up that dictation and seeing what you wrote. Because just me dictating to you, I feel a lot of people might be coming, getting it, and running. And that is not how you practice. That is not how you do it. You take that video, you just wrote all of that from, how we go up the stairs and back down the stairs, the stair climbing. You just wrote all of that. And if you're not taking the time to read your notes, it is all void and nil. All you've done is wrote some stuff and bam, there you go. And think, I practiced today. I even went on that channel that's on YouTube. Yeah, and I practiced over there too. But did you read your notes? Did you pull up those notes at the slowest speed and see how you wrote it? Did you pull it up at the highest speed and see what you wrote and what you dropped and what you gonna need to get to the next level? Because if you haven't, don't be going around telling people you're on my channel because you ain't gonna never pass no speeds. Ever. When you write, you need to read. And you should sit there as much as you write, you should as much as you should read. Now, if you ain't got that kind of time, then at least you know how I go up the stairs, and you know how even on my channel I have these graduations 100, 120, 140. You know, you can start off at 100, right? That a time or two, you already warmed up. Hit your speed. Or if you're at 100, you can go down to you know, 80. Plenty of 80 words per minute dictation on my channel. Plenty. Good and plenty. So if you are not, this is what this whole little lecture is about. Please, I am not trying to be your mother. But as far as it comes to steno, I do want to be able to at least advise you on that. Why would you be here if you don't want any advice? So my whole little spiel today is based off what I was reading today and right now, a few minutes ago, and I'm going to go ahead and share that with you. You can write this or you can not write this. It don't really make me no difference. I'm not going to even be reading it at a, any particular speed, should I say. I'm not going to be reading this in any type of dictation way at all. So let me just go ahead and read this to you. The stenographer will be often called upon to read back his notes. The dictator may lose the thread of his dictation or may be interrupted by a telephone call or an interviewer. In such cases, he will desire to know where he stopped and will call on the stenographer to read back the dictated matter. It is imperative, therefore, that the stenographer should have the utmost facility in reading his shorthand notes. Train yourself then by reading all the shorthand you write until you can read it as easily as print. If you have little practice in shorthand in business, try to get someone to read to you in the evening to prevent your losing your speed. Whenever you get practice of this kind, be sure to read back all you have written. At the time you read back, place a circle around any outline or phrase that has given you trouble. And afterwards, practice it until you are perfectly familiar with it. It is a good plan to pick out sentences here and there and read them without the context. Do everything to accustom yourself thoroughly to reading your shorthand notes. A good shorthand reader is bound to be a good shorthand writer. The following good advice from the exponent of Chicago is worthy of attention. With regard to faculty in reading, like faculty in writing, it comes from practice. It is admittedly difficult to acquire faculty in reading very imperfect writing, and you can therefore hope to acquire faculty in reading only as you acquire good execution in outlines. I have always noticed that those students who devoted their spare time to reading their notes, reading the same article repeatedly, became independent, positive readers. Only 3 things are necessary to become a good reader: to thoroughly know the principles, to make an intelligent application of them in writing, and to give much thoughtful practice to reading. And there you go. I don't think it could have been said any better. So I'm not going to harp on you about this, but please, please, while I'm making these videos, and I don't know how long or how short this channel is in, might be. I don't know if I'm going to be here next month or not. But the point that the book is trying to make and that I am trying to make to you is just to read those notes and read them. Know what you can do if you don't have time to read that what you wrote. Let's say you got to jet off somewhere. Take those notes, rip them from the pack, put them somewhere. If you got to catch the bus, that's a great time for reading. You can find time to read maybe on your lunch break, take it to work. Find little times here and there where you can grab a piece of your thing and take it with you, and you'll be surprised how much better your writing gets. Because guess what? You catch the mistakes. So when you catch the mistakes, you improve that stroke. You work on that stroke. And before you know it, you don't have any issues with that stroke anymore. So by doing that, that also strengthens you to write all the other combinations that it takes to write that one stroke. You understand? So it's this, it just builds upon itself. So when you start to read, you start to catch your mistakes, your notes clean up. You become faster at transcribing your work, or if you're going to have someone transcribe your work, the faster they'll be able to get your stuff out, because you clean writing. So you got clean notes. And if your notes are dirty, which means you got mistakes everywhere, slow down the speed and then read that and see how your notes look. Write what you can write, but make sure you're writing it clean, because speed comes with that. It's not the other way around, where speed comes first and then you clean up your notes. No, you keep your notes clean as you climb those speeds. And I guarantee you, by the time you get to 225, them notes going to be on fleek. And if you don't know what that means that it's going to be pretty much error-free. And that person you hire, that scopist, is going to love you. So spare your scopist, your future scopist. And if you're going to be doing your own, which I did when I first began court reporting, bam, go ahead and do that too. But at least bam, I could beat Sally over here doing her notes. Take her 2 hours because her notes are sloppy. So she don't know what. Man, I'm telling you, it does make a difference when you're working with those CAT systems. It makes a huge difference. Just like the dictionary building on my channel, it makes a huge difference. And so speed will come with that. With clean notes comes speed, because you ain't got all this extra stuff. And what was that? What was I trying to write? Can someone tell me what this word is? I'm stuck here trying to figure out what this word is. So clean notes, faster writing. That's also my opinion. So read those notes, and 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 never get tired of reading your notes. And then when it's time for you to read your notes, you can read your notes. And for some reason, I never had a problem with that. Only when we first began, because I had a mean teacher in the beginning, and she was always trying to discourage me from doing it. And I just showed, that's why I think half the reason why I made it 225 words a minute, just to prove to her that I could do it. So, in the beginning, she would dictate. I'm going all. I'm making sure. In the beginning, she would dictate, and then because I was working at the time, I was tired of everything. Might have practiced. She might go home, practice for an hour. Shoot, I probably did 15, 30 minutes and went to bed. And the next day it started to show in my notes. And then one day she asked me to read something, and I looked at them notes, and I looked at I looked at them notes, and I looked at and I started to read, because when she say read, you read. So I started to read, but it was not good. Let me put it that way. And she looked at me and she said, do you have the time to devote to this? Being about 80, she's about 80 years old. And I'm probably like 30 something. And I'm like, yes, I do have the time to do this. She said, are you sure? And I said, yes, I just didn't get a chance to, here I go making an excuse. I really didn't get a chance um, to practice that long, because she said, maybe you should just find another profession. And I'm like, and I didn't say one word. What was I was supposed to say? No, she's my teacher. I didn't say one word. But what I did decide to do was make sure I ain't never get caught like that no more. So even when we was up in the higher speeds, and that teacher said read back, my read back was on point, because I practiced. I said, see, you done made me go on to practice. And I practiced every lesson for at least an hour, at least. And if I could get more in there, I just go in there and practice. And I just began to improve. And she was the teacher that started you off at the school. So I was with her from like theory up to, I believe, I was with her until I got to 40 words per minute, and then I moved to another class for the 40 through the, I think it was through the 40 through the 60 class, and then it was 80 through 120, and then 160 through 180, and then you and so on. Bam. So anyway, I have made this video so long. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a day, but please don't forget to practice. And practice makes perfect. You better believe that. And you'll be able to tell it just by looking at your writing in a few months. You'll be amazed. Thank you for watching. And as always, happy writing.